On public health in particular, Canada is taking the steps needed to protect Canadians and stop the spread of COVID-19. We've put in place additional screening and enhanced measures to respond to new challenges wherever they occur around the world. We've been very clear. No one should be vacationing abroad right now. But if you still decide to travel at your own risk, you will need to show a negative COVID-19 test before you return, and you must self-isolate for 2 weeks when you get back. You need to take this seriously. Not following the rules could mean real consequences, including fines and prison time. Let me also be very clear about the Canada Recovery Sickness Benefit. It is not intended for travelers who are quarantining when they return from holiday. This program was created to give people sick leave if they needed it and otherwise wouldn't have one from their employer. It's not there to pay for someone's post-vacation quarantine. We'll have more details soon, but anyone who traveled for non-essential reasons will not be able to access the sickness benefit. So many people gave up so much more than just a vacation over the holidays. There's a reason so many Canadians made those tough but responsible decisions. There's a reason so many Canadians did their part. It was for the people around them, for the senior that is better protected, for the frontline worker who's safer on the job, for the small business owner who could look with more confidence to reopening. We can't let the sacrifices we've made over the holidays and over the last 10 months go to waste. I think we need to remember what the Canada Sickness Benefit is for. We brought it in place to ensure that if someone comes down with a sniffle or symptoms of COVID-19, they don't decide, oh no, if I stay home, I don't get sick benefits, I'm not going to be able to pay for groceries for my kids. We want them to stay home and we want them to have the support. That's why we brought in the Canada Sickness Benefit. We didn't bring it in and we didn't imagine when we passed it unanimously in the House with the support of all parties that people would use it to pay for their quarantines after having gone south for a 2-week vacation. So that is something we are going to fix right now. We're looking at ways of doing it. I've asked the ministers responsible to come up with solutions rapidly to ensure that it is there to keep Canadians safe and protect people who need this sickness benefit to stay away from work, not as a way of paying for quarantine after a vacation.
You mentioned today that no one should be taking a vacation, but obviously there's 2 members of your caucus who did leave the country. Many other politicians, there's been lots of stories about it, of course, left the country despite this advice that you've been giving consistently. What does that do, in a sense, to the basic public health messaging the government officials are trying to get out?
One of the things that has been really, really important throughout this pandemic for Canadians is the sense that we are all in this together, that we're looking out for each other, because the actions of any one person can have a positive or a negative benefit on the health situation of your neighbor. And this sense of solidarity we've seen throughout this country has been, quite frankly, really inspiring. And continuing to demonstrate that we are there for each other, that we are supporting each other, is extremely important. It's been tough. It's been a long year for everyone, and you know, we need to continue to do our very, very best in supporting them. That's why I was disappointed to find of 2 of our caucus members who traveled, and why there were consequences in them resigning from their committee roles. And that's why all Canadians were so disappointed to see so many examples of folks who should have known better doing things that put us all at risk.
I want to think about snowbirds for a second, or seniors in any event. We've learned of a number of them who are traveling to the United States, not for vacation. They want to go get the vaccine there. They think that they'll have a better chance there. Can you speak to this group, to the risks of seniors going to the United States? Can they count on Canada to help them if they need to be repatriated, if hospitals overflow in the U.S.? Can you talk about that issue?
The government of Canada recommends against any non-essential travel. It is safer for people to stay at home in Canada. We are delivering vaccines to the most vulnerable, and we have access to a wider range of potential vaccines and more vaccines per capita than just about any other country. I understand that people are still looking at travel, but we discourage it strongly. There will not be any mass repatriation efforts like we had in March if people are stuck overseas in this time of crisis. This is why we are saying to stay in Canada and stay safe.